Chosen one, hear me in the spirit. This is not just a message. This is a prophetic intervention, tailor-made for your spirit right now. You didn't stumble across this by chance. No algorithm brought you here. Heaven did. The same God who allowed the setback is now announcing your comeback. This word is your spiritual lifeline, your divine alignment, and your confirmation that what looked like failure was actually favor in disguise. You are standing at the divine intersection of pain and promise, and what you choose to believe in. This moment will shape what heaven releases next. Chosen one, you've been through hell in silence. You've cried when no one saw. You've questioned, God, why me? And he says today, because I trusted you with trouble that would have crushed others. You were never forsaken. You were being fortified. The delays, the detours, the betrayals, they didn't cancel your destiny, they confirmed it. You've been hidden, but not forgotten. You've been tested, but not tossed away. This season may have looked like punishment, but it was positioning. And now God says, enough hiding, enough questioning, the time is now. This moment is prophetic. This moment is spiritual. The enemy has been monitoring your progress, hoping you wouldn't hear this word. Because the moment you receive it, truly receive it, he loses access. That's why your warfare intensified before this breakthrough. That's why things felt like they were falling apart just before they start falling into place. Your life isn't behind schedule, it's on divine schedule. And heaven is sending this message to wake up the warrior in you. So, chosen one, listen carefully. What you thought was the end is about to be revealed as your greatest beginning. This isn't a delay, it's a divine strategy. What looked like a breakdown was God pulling you back like an arrow, ready to launch you farther than ever before. And now, the heavens are declaring your release. But don't just hear this. Activate it, like this video, as a sign of agreement in the spirit. Subscribe so that your soul stays connected to prophetic clarity in this season. And right now, declare this out loud and comment below. My comeback is already written. Say it again. My comeback is already written. That phrase isn't just cute, it's prophetic. It means your story was never left to chance. Before the enemy attacked, God had already written your recovery. Before the door closed, the promotion was prepared. Before they walked away, your circle was being sanctified. When you declare those words, you're stepping into agreement with what God has already said about you. You're not hoping anymore. You're aligning, so don't be silent. Don't sit in the shadows. This is the moment the enemy feared. Because the one who was once bowed in brokenness is about to rise in power. Chosen one, your name is being whispered in rooms you've never entered. Your destiny is echoing through the corridors of heaven. And this word, right here, right now, is your confirmation. God is flipping the script, turning the page, and writing a new chapter that hell cannot edit. Chosen one, let's go deeper. You've heard the introduction, but now God is about to unravel the hidden wisdom behind everything you've been through. This isn't surface-level encouragement. This is divine strategy. The kind that shifts atmospheres, realigns your heart, and awakens what the world tried to bury in you. You were never just going through pain. You were being processed for power. God hides kings in caves before crowning them. If you've ever felt buried by the weight of your own calling, isolated in a place where no one seems to see you, where your gifts feel overlooked and your voice feels silenced, you're not alone. You're in good company. David, the one who would become Israel's greatest king, wasn't crowned in a palace. He was hiding in a cave, running from a mad king, misunderstood by his own people, and surrounded by the broken, the bitter, and the outcast. But it was in that dark, damp, forgotten place that God began forming a king. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Your cave season was never about punishment. It was about positioning. You weren't buried, you were planted, and what's planted must rise. God often does his greatest work in secret, where the soil is tight, the darkness is heavy, and the roots grow deep. Why? Because when he brings you out, it won't be shallow success, it will be sustainable glory. The cave is where warriors are formed. It's where your anointing grows thick, where your ears become sensitive to God's whispers. You were never forsaken in the cave. You were fortified. Don't curse the cave. Honor it. That's where you became unshakable. That's where you learned to hear God above the noise. That's where he taught you that favor doesn't always look like fame. It often looks like obscurity. You are chosen, and chosen ones are carved in the quiet before they roar in the public. So if you've been in a season of hiding, rejoice. You are being preserved for the moment when your crown will sit not just on your head, but on a character that can carry the weight of glory. The world may not see it yet, but God has already seen you crowned. And now hear this, the storm was God's taxi to destiny. You didn't get here by accident. The chaos, the confusion, the setbacks, they didn't push you off track. They were the track. God used what the enemy sent to destroy you as divine transportation to get you to where he always intended you to be. Just look at Paul. He was a man on a mission, sailing to spread the gospel, when a storm hit. A violent, merciless, soul-shaking storm. The kind that makes you question every promise you thought you heard from God. The ship broke. Pieces flew everywhere. Fear gripped every man on board, and yet God had already told Paul, "You must stand before Caesar." That means the destination was guaranteed, even if the method was unconventional. Paul didn't arrive in Rome in a royal chariot. He arrived broken, shipwrecked, soaked, but standing. And on the island of Malta, in the aftermath of what looked like disaster, revival broke out, healings happened, the gospel advanced. What looked like the enemy's plan was secretly the doorway to God's purpose. Chosen one, don't despise the storm. It's not your enemy, it's your escort. The turbulence wasn't punishment, it was prophecy in motion. God never promised the route would be smooth. He promised the arrival would be sure. And even if the ship breaks apart, even if the path gets violent, you will arrive, clinging to the pieces if you must, standing on fragments of hope, but arriving nonetheless. Because your destiny isn't tied to what carried you, it's tied to who called you. You are chosen. You are marked. The waves can't drown what God has spoken. The wind cannot silence what heaven has decreed. You may be shipwrecked, but you're still in alignment, because God knew all along you would survive. And not just survive, but thrive. That storm didn't crush you. It baptized you for the next level, and that's why you must hear this now. Heaven doesn't mourn what you lost. It multiplies what remains. You've been staring at the ashes of dreams that didn't come to pass, relationships that walked away, opportunities that vanished. But heaven isn't crying over your losses. Heaven is measuring what's left. Because in God's kingdom, he never needs what you lost to bless you. He multiplies what you still have. Look at Job. Everything was stripped from him. His children, his wealth, his health. Friends turned against him. His own wife told him to curse God and die. But Job didn't break. He bent, he wept, he questioned, but he didn't let go of faith. And when the time was fulfilled, God restored to him double. Not because he earned it, but because he endured it. Chosen one, this is your job season coming to an end. God is about to breathe on what's left. The 5 loaves and 2 fish in your hand may not look like much, but when surrendered, they feed thousands. That last breath of faith you're holding on to, it's enough. That little strength you still have, it's enough. That broken praise that rises through your tears, it's more than enough. Heaven is not intimidated by your loss. God doesn't rebuild with what's gone. He builds with what remains. And what remains after the fire is always pure gold. You've been refined. What the enemy meant to strip you of identity actually revealed your essence. You are still here, you are still chosen, and you are still a threat to darkness. Because when heaven begins to multiply, nothing can stop it. The same people who pitied you will marvel at your overflow. The same areas you lacked in will become the fields of your abundance, and your testimony will be this: I didn't have everything, but I had enough for God to move. Now lean in closer, because this is where the shift begins to intensify. The setback was a stage. Now God pulls the curtain. They thought your silence meant defeat. They thought your stillness meant surrender. But the stage has been set behind the scenes. Heaven has arranged every detail. And now God is pulling the curtain back, not just to reveal you, but to reveal himself through you. Think of Lazarus, dead, wrapped, buried, 4 days late in the eyes of men, but right on time in the eyes of God. When Jesus finally arrived, he didn't apologize for the delay. He commanded the grave to release him, because the glory of God required the situation to look impossible. The greater the death, the greater the resurrection. Chosen one, they counted you out. They rolled the stone. They tried to eulogize your purpose, but God was waiting for the right moment to announce you. Not when things were neat, not when you were at your best, but when it looked hopeless, because that's when his power shines brightest. The curtain is being pulled. This is your moment of re-emergence. You're not walking back in timid, you're stepping forward in power, with oil from the crushing, with wisdom from the wilderness, with fire from the furnace, and with authority from the affliction. Let the doubters watch. Let the mockers gasp. Let those who said, we knew they wouldn't make it, witness the exact opposite, because what's coming next isn't recovery, it's revelation. God is revealing the version of you that he's been building in secret. This next version is healed, whole, anointed, and unapologetically chosen. You didn't miss your moment. You are the moment. And as we move forward, prepare your heart, because the next section will unveil the truth about why you were rejected and how that rejection was divine redirection into royalty. Chosen one, you've made it through the silence, through the storm, through the shadows that tried to swallow your song. But now we must confront the wound that cut the deepest: rejection, the closed doors, the silent exits, the people who saw your light and turned away as if it didn't matter. But let this truth settle into your soul. You were rejected to be redirected into royalty. It was never personal. It was prophetic. Rejection was not a reflection of your worth. It was a reflection of their inability to recognize divine design. Some people had to leave because they couldn't breathe in the atmosphere God was preparing for you. They couldn't grow where you're going. They couldn't survive the elevation you're walking into. Their presence would have poisoned the palace. So God allowed the departure before the destination. Joseph was sold by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, falsely accused, imprisoned, all before he was promoted to second in command over Egypt. But had they not rejected him, they would have never positioned him. Had they not betrayed him, he would have never sat on a throne. You see, rejection is often a throne in disguise. Chosen one, you are not unworthy. You are not too much. You are not a mistake. You are royal blood, and royalty often walks lonely, erodes, not because you're less, but because you carry more. And the weight of your calling demands a circle that won't collapse under pressure. That's why the betrayal hurt so badly. It wasn't just the loss of connection. It was the shattering of trust. But God says, I have seen it all, and I am now leading you into relationships that will honor your oil. You are not being punished. You are being promoted. Rejection was the redirection you needed to step into your divine seat. You will sit at tables that once closed their doors to you. You will rise in spaces where you were once whispered about. You will be honored in the same places you were hidden. It is certain. And now something glorious is happening in the Spirit. God is reintroducing you with a glory they cannot deny. The silence is breaking. The waiting is over. This is your unveiling. You've been in preparation so long that even you forgot how powerful you are. But God has never forgotten. Heaven has held its breath for this hour. And now the divine spotlight shines upon you, not to showcase ego, but to showcase evidence. Evidence that obedience still brings overflow. Evidence that tears still water harvests. Evidence that staying faithful in the furnace leads to public favor. When Jesus came out of the wilderness, he returned in the power of the Spirit. He had no reputation, no followers, no platform, only fire. But when he opened his mouth in the synagogue, all eyes were fixed on him, not because of his name, but because of his authority. Chosen one, you've been refined in the wilderness. You've cried in silence, but now when you speak, heaven will thunder behind you. You will not return the same. You will not go back with excuses. You'll return with evidence. This reintroduction isn't just personal, it's prophetic. You will walk into rooms with a presence that cannot be explained. Doors will open not because of your connections, but because of your consecration. People will wonder how you carry so much weight, and the answer will be simple. I bled in silence, and now I bloom in glory. Chosen one, you are not being celebrated by accident. God himself is announcing you. He is amplifying your voice, validating your gifts, and confirming your next chapter. No one will be able to take credit for what's about to unfold. You've been hidden, but not forsaken. You've been molded, not forgotten. And now the glory rests upon you. But how? How did you survive all that? The answer is in the fire, because the furnace only burned off the bondage. You didn't come out of the fire weaker. You came out lighter, lighter of the things that once held you back, lighter of the opinions, the fears, the doubts that tried to define you. The fire was never to destroy you. It was to purify you. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego walked into the firebound. But when the king looked again, they were walking free, and there was a fourth man, one like the Son of God, standing with them. Not a single hair was singed. Not even the smell of smoke clung to their garments. That's your story. You went through what should have taken you out, but you came out untouched. They'll see the glow, but never the ashes. They'll hear your wisdom, but never know the weight. Because what bound you in one season has no power in the next. You are not bound. You are not broken. You are free. And the fire that tried to claim you now testifies of the one who kept you. Your scars are not shame. They are seals of survival. And you will now walk in rooms where your endurance speaks louder than your resume. Chosen one, do you feel it? The atmosphere is shifting, because now God declares, the enemy mocked you. Too early. Now God will make you a sign. Your life will be the evidence that prophecy is real, that God's promises do not return void. That delay does not mean denial. You are about to live the kind of turnaround that can't be hidden, that can't be explained away. The same ones who laughed will be left speechless. The same ones who thought you'd collapse will be stunned by your elevation. Like Haman built gallows for Mordecai, only to be hung on them himself. So too will every plot against you be reversed. God is making you the sign and the wonder. You are not just a witness to miracles, you are the miracle. You're not just hearing prophecy, you're fulfilling it. The tables are turning, the tide is rising, the heavens are open. It is certain. It is written. It is happening. Chosen one, your moment is not approaching, it has arrived. You are chosen, you are anointed, you are called for such a time as this. Your breakthrough is not coming, it's already begun. And as the oil begins to pour, it will not trickle, it will overflow, overflow, overflow. Favor is chasing you. Angels are aligning. Every delay is becoming divine acceleration. Every closed door is becoming a red-carpeted entrance. And your name is being spoken in divine rooms. God is not just giving you back what was taken, He's giving you double. Double honor for your shame, double strength for your struggle, double joy for your mourning. Your comeback is not partial, it's full, complete, undeniable, uncontainable, unstoppable. Now prepare yourself, because as you enter the conclusion of this divine message, your spirit will be sealed with a prophetic decree so powerful it will echo through every area of your life. This final word will not just affirm your identity, it will activate your destiny. Chosen one. There's one more revelation you must receive before we seal this divine word in your spirit. What you thought was your breaking point is now becoming your launching pad. Your feet will stand where you once crawled, the very place where you wept in silence, where you begged God to remove the pain, where you wondered if you would ever see light again. That's the same ground you're about to dominate with victory. Moses returned to Egypt not as a stuttering fugitive, but as a prophetic deliverer. He once fled in fear, hiding from a past soaked in regret. But when God called him back, it wasn't to relive the trauma. It was to redeem the territory. The ground that saw his shame would now witness his authority, and so shall it be with you. God is sending you back, not to be broken, but to break chains, not to bow, but to lead. The valley where you nearly lost your mind will now hear a voice commanding healing. The family that overlooked you will now receive wisdom from your lips. The streets you once walked in defeat will now feel the echo of your destiny rising. It is certain this is not revenge. This is restoration. God is not giving you a platform for ego. He's giving you territory for purpose. Every place where your feet touch will now shift under divine authority. The atmosphere is changing, not because of who you are in man's eyes, but because of who you are in heaven's eyes. You are not returning to prove anything. You're returning as living proof. What was once a pit of despair will now be a pulpit of deliverance. Where you once crawled in confusion, you will now decree in clarity. And every demon that tried to keep you down will tremble at the sound of your return. Chosen one, this isn't a promotion. This is prophecy unfolding before your eyes. You are meant for this. You were built for this. Your steps are ordered, your hands are anointed, and your voice is carrying the sound of someone who's walked through fire but emerged untouched. God is about to showcase you, not for show, but for significance, because your life is now a sign that nothing hell launched against you could stop what heaven has written. It is written. It is sealed. It is happening. Your comeback isn't next, it's now. Heaven isn't preparing your breakthrough, it's already in motion. You're not waiting for it to begin. It began the moment you decided to believe again. The moment you chose to hope again. The moment you tuned your ear to this prophetic frequency. This word was never just to stir you. It was to awaken what's been buried, to call forth what you thought died in delay. But God says the seed didn't die. It's been germinating underground, soaking up every tear, every groan, every prayer, and now it is time for harvest. Overflow, overflow, overflow. That's what's coming. In your finances, in your mind, in your relationships, in your gifts. A divine surplus that you won't have room to contain. Your cup won't just be full, it will be running over, not drops, waves, not barely, abundantly, not someday, now, because your name has been marked in the heavens. Angels have been released. Chains are breaking in the unseen. Doors are swinging open that you never even knocked on. Phone calls are coming. Divine alignments are forming. And all of it is happening because you endured when you could have quit. Chosen one, God says, your heart passed the test. Now your hands will hold the reward. This is more than encouragement. This is confirmation. Your setbacks were setups. Your heartbreak was holy preparation. Your silence was sacred training, and your comeback has already begun. You are chosen, you are covered, you are crowned. And now we arrive at the moment where heaven and earth agree over your life. The enemy has no more legal ground. The delays have run out of time. The sorrow has reached its expiration. And now the prophetic floodgates are open. Your breakthrough is certain. Your season has shifted. Your comeback is undeniable. Let your spirit rise in this moment. Let your heart burn with divine awareness. Let your voice shout with a bold declaration, "My comeback is already written." Say it until every cell in your body aligns. Say it until every demon remembers your name. Say it until the atmosphere around you transforms. Say it until heaven moves in your direction, because this isn't just a word, it's a release. You're not entering revival. You are the revival. You're not waiting for favor. You're walking in it. You're not praying for confirmation. You're hearing it now, so lift your head, chosen one. Square your shoulders. Wipe your tears. The crown fits. The mantle is yours. The road ahead has already been cleared. The voice of the Lord is roaring over your life. Your comeback is heaven's announcement. Your return is the enemy's reminder. Your breakthrough is your inheritance. Chosen one, listen with your spirit, because everything you've endured, every tear you've shed, every sleepless night and battle-worn prayer has all been leading to this divine moment. Heaven is not guessing about your future. Heaven is not unsure. Heaven has already seen the end, and it's glorious. Your setbacks were not signs of failure. They were the fingerprints of God arranging your story for something greater. You weren't abandoned. You were being aligned. You weren't cast out. You were being carved into the image of glory. Every delay, every betrayal, every disappointment was not wasted. It was a setup for your major comeback. God says, what looked like a loss was divine leverage. What felt like a breaking was sacred birthing. And now the announcement in the heavens has gone forth. Your story is shifting. The tides are turning. The chapter is changing. This is your release season. This is your comeback moment. The prison didn't break Joseph. It positioned him for Pharaoh's palace. The pit didn't bury David. It prepared him for the crown. The cross didn't defeat Jesus. It became the door to resurrection. So don't mistake your pit for your grave. Don't mistake your waiting for God's absence. Don't mistake your pain for punishment. It has all been prophetic in purpose. And now the Lord is declaring over you, enough waiting, enough weeping. Step into what I've already written. This word is alive in your spirit because it was already written on your life before you even arrived here. You're not just receiving encouragement, you are receiving confirmation. God didn't change his mind about you. In fact, he's about to reveal why the warfare was so relentless. The oil on your life is weighty, the calling is undeniable, and the comeback will be impossible to ignore. Chosen one, your breakthrough is not coming with a whisper. It's coming with a roar, the roar of deliverance, the roar of restoration, the roar of resurrection, the roar of God saying, "This is my beloved, in whom I am well pleased." You've walked through the fire and didn't burn. You've sat in silence and didn't sink. You've been overlooked but never overruled. And now, heaven is orchestrating the very events that will usher you into divine recovery and unstoppable overflow. So I speak directly to your spirit. Get ready. Get ready for divine acceleration. Get ready for doors that didn't make sense to open. Get ready for the kind of blessings that can't be traced to your resume, your background, or your connections, only to your obedience. Get ready to receive news that shifts your entire atmosphere. Get ready for prayers to be answered before you even speak them. Get ready for vindication, restoration, and overflow to collide in your life at once. Because this isn't just a comeback, it's your crowning moment. Everything that fought you is now falling. Every lie spoken against you is being reversed. Every delay is being transformed into double acceleration. The same people who dismissed you are about to witness the undeniable hand of God on you. You're not just stepping into something new. You're stepping into what was always yours. No more hiding, no more hesitating, no more apologizing for your glow. This is your time, your moment, your divine reversal. And heaven is not just watching, it's rejoicing. Now, chosen one, here's what you must do. Own it. Say it with your mouth. Declare it in your spirit. Claim it in your atmosphere. Type it and activate it by faith. Comment below, I receive it. Let heaven hear it. Let hell fear it. Let your soul know that the time for waiting has ended. You are not stepping into your blessing timidly. You are taking hold of it boldly. God has already signed the decree. Your spirit is aligned, the heavens are opened, and everything is shifting in your favor. So walk in joy. Walk in boldness. Walk in the fire of your calling. You are chosen. You are covered. You are equipped. The oil is on you. The angels are with you. The way is made. Chosen one, it is done. Your miracle begins now.